You know, as a man, I mean, I believe it's the most common for us men at any given time to have maybe one lover at a time, one woman that you're seeing, and it'll be like a regular thing. When you get off work, you're gonna see her however you normally do, whether she comes to your place or you go to hers, however you normally do it. It's very normal for you to have like just one chick. I would say some guys, because I know at one point I did have two, and I would alternate between the two, maybe two, but that's kind of rare. And anything more than two girls at the same time that you're sleeping with is, as far as I'm concerned, it's like an astronomical level. I'm not saying it's not impossible. I think that maybe happened to me one time, but that's so far out there and it's just so much work because between work and all the things that you have to do in your daily routine, that's a lot. Uh, but I brought that up to say that really, the reality is, while you as a man, you may have one, maybe two women that you see regularly, she's probably got 10 that she's alternating through. And she's seeing probably all these guys sexually. And you're just another guy in the rotation for her. And there's subtle signals to whether or not you're dealing with a girl that she does this regularly. I'm not really going to go too deep into the signals because I like to think that this is just readily available and it's pretty obvious. But the point is, you have two, maybe. She has 10 plus, more than likely. And when you get, right down to it, the reality is, women, these 10 plus partners that she's having, and when I say partners, I mean sexual partners. Women don't really have, I would say, like men, how we can just be attracted to women and that's it. We just into women. Women don't have that. These 10 plus people that this chick is seeing, it could be five could be men and the other five could be women. I mean, you could be any variation and you decide. I mean, they could all be women for all you know. You're the one man out of the 9 women lineup that she's got, and all 9 of these chicks could be tagging her with a 12-inch strap on. You don't know, because women's their sexuality, it's a big question mark if you want to get right down to it. And that, honestly, what I said is the best case scenario, because a lot of these girls out here, they're really into some weird shit. And the deeper you go, I would say, down this rabbit hole, the more you get to see. And I've seen some things with girls where, I'd see little subtle things. Like I said, I wasn't going to go too deep into the signals, but there's this one girl I used to be involved with not too long ago. At her apartment, it was a really nice apartment, but the weird thing was, in her bedroom, it was just, there was no mattress. There was a mattress. All it was a mattress, but there was no box spring and there was no bed frame. And it was just a mattress that was just in the middle of the room. And it was a big mattress. And I just thought that was really odd. And it wasn't because she was poor and couldn't afford it. It was because she made so much goddamn noise. And it's things like that, Like, she's just got this huge mattress. I remember there was another instance with this one girl where, she had this, I guess you could call it a fetish, where all she wanted me to do was just tell her what to do. And it didn't matter what it was. I could tell her to do anything. She got off on just being told what to do. And you could literally tell her to do anything. And I would tell her to do a lot of stuff. Just, I would never tell her to cook for me. But, yeah, you could just, I think that if it's not obvious to you as a man, you just maybe, you got to get more life experience. But these girls, out here, it's basically a who's who of what you can get with them. And a lot of them, they get off on being used in certain ways, because the world has gotten to them. And I'm not saying that's necessarily the worst thing that could happen to a chick, because I don't think that it is. I just feel like that's her purpose, and she's fulfilling it for the most part. I think that you as a man, what you have to do is just not, get obsessed with her. And the only way, in my opinion, for you not to get obsessed with her is to, if you can, if at all possible, avoid, tagging her raw. And I know it's hard to go back to, not doing that to a chick once you've done it once. But the reality is, women have this, I think it's called Bactrim. I forget what it's called, but it really is a substance that can affect your mind. And it's in their vaginal secretions, you know? Like, for example, how many times have you ever heard a girl say, like, she'll say something like, "Oh, if I have sex with him 3 times, without a condom, he'll do whatever I want." Now, that's a pretty common thing I've heard women say. I've heard it my whole life, even to this very day. I mean, I've heard girls kind of say that shit, and they know exactly what they mean when they say that, and that's the reality of the situation. I mean, we're dealing with, like, to some degree or another, we're dealing with like a biological warfare kind of situation where they're using unseen love potion tactics, that, what's the key ingredient? Hey, if you've seen some of my other videos, I've told you what the key ingredient is, or I'm sorry, they've told you what the key ingredient is. And that's the reality, dude. It's like, this shit isn't made up. It's not. And I just want you guys to just be careful, because anytime you get involved with a chick, this is the situation, you know. It really is a situation. It's a war. It's a controlling situation for your mind, for your body, for your resources, for your actions, for your everyday actions. Like, they want it to be where what you do is not necessarily self-serving, which is the only way you should act, in my opinion. They want it to be serving them, you know, and I'm not okay with that. It's just not cool. But it's the reality of the situation, man. And a lot of these chicks out here, they got the full counter for you. And they're ready to throw it on you in a moment's notice. And they're so vain, a lot of them, that it would blow your mind. But, just be wise, be careful out here, guys. If we really, listen and focus in and hear what we're being told. I mean, it's like I always say, people, they generally tell you what they're about, and they tell you what they're trying to do. Whether it's verbally or, through their body language. People can't really hide intentions. I'm reminded of this one show. It's called Parasite. Parasite the Maxim, right? And there's these entities that are literal parasites. However, they can't hide their intentions from one another. And I'm talking about any intention. And there's just one particular intention they have called murderous intent, when they want to kill one another, or if they want to kill someone. They can literally feel that intention coming off of each other. And I mean, I don't know if to 100% we can develop that to just where we can easily detect it. But I'd like to think that it's not impossible to be able to detect, people's intentions to that degree, as well as sexually or other, just really picking up on somebody's intentions and what they're trying to do, because they really do tell you what they're trying to do. And they have no choice. Otherwise, nothing they want would get done. Nothing would ever really probably manifest from their imagination into reality if they did. So, yeah, just comprehending intentions, I would say, is and actions is the main takeaway and the main focus.